Hiya. I'm going to begin with a bit of Bertrand, or Bertrand as he's known in our house. The trouble with the world is that the stupid are cocksure and the intelligent are full of doubt. Bertrand Russell's words ring with particular resonance when one considers the spectacle of Simon Jordan's ill-conceived tirade against City when the club launched the challenge to the Premier League's hastily cobbled together APT rules several months ago. I made a video about this at the time and I'm going to show that at the end of this in its entirety. However, for now, let's remind ourselves, as the case started, this is what he said.
It's appalling, and if I were in the Premier League now, I would be campaigning to expel them.
And he added this.
What Man City are doing at this moment in time, I think is an absolute disgrace. I think they're bringing the game into disrepute. You can't join a club, boys, and then go into the club and go, I tell you what, I don't like the rules, so not only am I going to sue the club, I'm going to sue all its members.
Now then, brothers and sisters, let us for a moment dissect this sorry affair with the precision it so richly deserves. Jordan had my attention then, and now he also has my attention.
You wanted my attention. You wanted my attention. You have my attention now.
Mr. Jordan, in his infinite wisdom, saw it fit to declare City's challenge to the Premier League's rules as appalling and an absolute disgrace. How deliciously ironic that these very words now serve as an apt description of his own commentary. One might have hoped that a man of Jordan's supposed stature would possess the intellectual capacity to await the outcome of a legal proceeding before pronouncing judgment. Alas, such restraint appears to be beyond his meagre capabilities. Instead, we were treated to a masterclass in reactionary bluster, a symphony of ignorance conducted by a man whose grasp of nuance is rivalled only by that of a sledgehammer. Jordan's call for City's expulsion from the Premier League now stands as a monument to his own folly, a testament to the dangers of speaking without the burden of thought. The ruling that the APT rules were in fact, and I quote, unlawful in their entirety, serves not just a vindication of City's position, but as a damning indictment of Jordan's intellectual bankruptcy. In the grand tapestry of football commentary, Simon Jordan's contribution in this matter will be remembered as nothing more than a loose thread easily pulled apart and, much like most TalkSport punditry, utterly disposable. You see, they all hold temporary opinions of convenience that they discard as swiftly and as casually as they do the previous day's newspapers. What they were passionate and caring about yesterday has no consequence today. These are the metric slaves working for Pavlov's press, ringing the bell to make their hair-triggered red cartel fans drool with engagement. Say something nasty about City. Ding! Call for them to be expelled. Ding! Say City are bringing the game into disrepute. Ding! Say City are a disgrace. Ding ding! Mention 115. Dingity ding ding fucking ding! I can only hope that now the judgment is out, and in overwhelming favour of City's position, that this serves as a cautionary tale to those who would speak without knowledge and who would condemn without understanding. For in the realm of public discourse, as in life, it's far better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open one's mouth and remove all doubt. To Simon Jordan, may his future endeavours be marked by a wisdom that has thus far proven frustratingly elusive. I'm going to show the whole of the previous Jordan video. It got 118,000 views last time, but I think it's pertinent to show it now, so I'm going to stitch it onto the end of this one, and I hope you enjoy it if you didn't see it. If you've already seen it, it's probably no reason to look at it again. Before I play the whole of the previous Jordan video, I'd just like to bug you for a second and ask you to go to the Kipax Kids YouTube channel and subscribe or give it a like. That'd be fantastic. All right, that's it. On with the Jordan video. I try not to pay too much attention to Simon Jordan. I like my opinions fresh, sincere and original. And you know how when you discover someone who's a flat earther, you can usually predict what their views on a dozen or so other matters are without asking them? I can do that with Jordan most of the time. Like the old school comedians used to do with jokes, he might as well have his opinions numbered. He rarely changes his mind, relying instead on the way he tells them. In the late 70s, the frontman of popular boy band the Sex Pistols, Mr. Rotten, said, "There are few things less interesting than contrived controversy." And contrived controversy is the business model of TalkSport, and Jordan is their contrived controversy queen. But last week, in his pandering to the fans of some clubs by saying outrageous things about Man City, he went a bit too far, got carried away, and in the giddiness of his performative outrage, he revealed more about himself than he intended.
It's appalling. And if I were in the Premier League now, I would be campaigning to expel him.
That's him throwing sardines off the trawler to get the seagulls to swoop. To his struggling podcast, probably. The thing I want you to listen to very carefully is this sentence.
What Man City are doing at this moment in time, I think, is an absolute disgrace. I think they're bringing the game into disrepute. You can't join a club, boys, and then go into the club and go, I tell you what, I don't like the rules, so not only am I going to sue the club, I'm going to sue all its members.
The thing is, Manchester City have not joined this club. Manchester City were founder members of the Premier League 9 years before Jordan bought Crystal Palace. Jordan knows this, so what was he thinking when he said join? What did he mean? I think the better question is, who did he mean? I believe he was referring to City's owners. I think that's who he believes joined the Premier League. I think he views the present-day custodians of this 144-year-old club as some sort of uppity newcomers. In fact, I find it impossible to interpret what he said any other way. Let's listen to it again.
What Man City are doing at this moment in time, I think, is an absolute disgrace. I think they're bringing the game into disrepute. You can't join a club, boys, and then go into the club and go, I tell you what, I don't like the rules, so not only am I going to sue the club, I'm going to sue all its members.
Of course he doesn't hate Man City, nor does he have an agenda against Man City, and I'm not being sarcastic. And when people accuse him of that, they let him off the hook. He can call them Burks, morons and idiots and laugh them off. But this one sentence is different. What this one sentence, including referring to City's owners as boys, reveals is that his enduring problem is with Man City's owners. So far, City's owners have been around 2 more years than Jordan's eventually catastrophic 10 years in the Premier League. They're hardly upstarts, but this is what they are in Jordan's mind. How dare they question things? How dare they fight back? Who do they think they are? When I was researching this, I went through some archives, and do you know what? The contempt he has for City's owners runs all the way through it, like the word Blackpool through a stick of rock. I can't be the only one who's noticed that it's only City he's accused of posing an existential threat to football and suggested they be expelled for doing it. I'd argue that a greater existential threat was the proposal to do away with relegation and promotion, or perhaps the suggestion that we deprive every fan of a fixture every season by playing one in America. Did he say that the people suggesting that are an absolute disgrace? Did he rant about these boys joining a club and demanding to change the rules? Did Jordan assert that the owners who suggested those two things be expelled from the league? Of course he didn't. I wonder why his apoplexy is reserved only for the owners of Manchester City. Before I finish, I'm going to deal with Jordan's argument from first principles. You know, as if his argument makes sense. It is preposterous to suggest that people who join a club can't challenge or sue the club or its members. There are countless examples of private clubs whose members have done so, or threatened to do so to change a rule they thought was wrong, illegal, or even introduced to advantage some members
Arsenal!
and disadvantage others. For example, women were once excluded from gentlemen's clubs. Minorities were allowed to be caddies but not play golf. Sometimes it took a legal challenge to change these rules that were agreed on by the members. I'm not drawing a moral equivalence here. I am illustrating the principle that private clubs can and have been challenged in exactly the same way City are charging the Premier League. The thing about rules or laws is that they become more robust only when challenged and tested. This is a feature of our adversarial legal system, not a bug. Many people, including Jordan, appear to be suggesting that a rule once in place must never be challenged or tested. And that's a license for tyranny. Jordan ridicules the tyranny of the majority phrase used in City's legal defence without a real understanding of what the term actually means. The most commonly cited weakness in majority rule is that the majority can pursue their own goals, their own objectives, their own agenda at the expense of those who are in the minority. A recent example where this has been really bad for everyone is Brexit. Look, if the current rule is legitimate and legal, it will be robust enough to withstand scrutiny of an independent body, and the Premier League have nothing to worry about. It should be reassuring then to Jordan and those who agree with him that the Premier League, via leaks to their client media, aren't losing their shit about it and remaining really, really calm. Right?